Yo, what is going on, you tired surf and turtwig? Today we're playing some games with another Rapid Strike Urshifu build. I know, another one, but there's so many ways to play the deck, and this build specifically comes to us from some of the top European players. I originally saw this list being played by Nico Alabas and Pedro Torres, so huge shout out to them for the list. And the original build, I haven't changed anything. This is actually the exact 60, I believe, that Pedro played in the most recent Limitless Major. So it is a Cincino build of the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. And I showed you guys a deck similar to this before with the Cincino build, but it was a lot heavier on the Cheryl. Now this build specifically only has one Cheryl. I think the list I saw that Nico was playing had two Cheryl and then no Phoebe in it, which you don't need to play Phoebe, I guess. And to be honest, you know what? I think I'd rather play two Cheryl instead of Phoebe. So we're going to go ahead and make that switch right now. I think that was the only difference I saw between the two lists that they were playing. But yeah, Rapid Strike, Cincino, Draw Engine. There is a Dedenne in here for some additional early game or like late game draw support. But ideally, we don't want to be using this at all. Because another Pokemon we have in here that we can use instead is the Snorlax to help us set up early on to get us, more cards. To help us, get into the game, get attacking, and then get our Cincino set up, and then hopefully we don't need to put down something like the Dedenne, some easy prize cards for our opponent to take advantage of throughout the game. So that's kind of the game plan behind this build: is abuse Cincinos, make do for the draw power, and then we got a whole bunch of other goons in here. Well, there is actually a Zigzagoon, a bunch of other one prize Pokemon that we can abuse with Scoop Up Net. We got the Giratina, the Zigzagoon, and the Mewtwo with that Mind Report ability. So we don't play too many draw supporters or supporters in general in this build, but we have the Mewtwo with the Mind Report, and we have Scoop Up Nets. And when you combo that with Make Do, you're just seeing a whole bunch of whatever supporter you want to see on your turn as soon as you find it. You have to initially find the supporter, which is why I kind of like the idea of two Cheryl over one, because then we can find it sooner, which means we can Mewtwo for it sooner, which means you can use it more often and heal our Urshifus that much more. So Cheryl, I like that. Yeah, there's only two boss in here, but once again, once we find it, Mewtwo can get it back with the Mind Report. And then for the draw supporters, no research and only two Marnie. The highest draw supporter that's in here is the Bird Keepers to help us move our Urshifus around, reestablish them for that Gale Thrust, or just get whatever we want out of the active into the active, or whatever's on our bench from the bench to the active. So the Bird Keepers help with that as well. The energy count, heavy on the capture energy, 4 capture energy. You don't need a whole ton to attack with the Urshifu VMAX. This does kind of make sense, because the first attack is just a Gale Thrust for a fighting energy. So if on our first turn we can't really attack anyways, I guess we could use Strafe. That'd be the only thing we could do, but we'd much rather capture out a Mincino probably to set up for the Cincinos as soon as possible, and then on the next turn we could attach a Rapid Strike or a basic fighting energy, and then we can go in with the Gale Thrust or even the G-Max Rapid Flow. So capture energy fits super well into what you're trying to do with the Urshifu VMAX anyways, so they work out really well. Got some comeback cards in here as well, 2 Reset Stamp and that Karate Belt, and then there is actually 1 Stellar Wish Jirachi for some extra digging through the deck. There is 3 air balloons, so if we just attacked with an Urshifu and it's interactive, we can put an air balloon on it, or maybe it has an air balloon. We can retreat to Jirachi Stellar Wish for something more, or so if we know specifically what we want, go try and find that card, help us get to those pieces that we need to close out games, and then we can Scoop Up Net the Jirachi back out of the active after we Stellar Wished for whatever it is we get, or whatever it is we were trying to find, and then we get to go ahead and hit with the Gale Thrust once again. Okay, and that is the list. Once again, shout out to Nico and Pedro for showing it off this week. I'm sure they've been working on it and finally decided to bring it out. It's a really cool list. I haven't played any games with it, but I played games with a bunch of other Rapid Strike decks, including that heavy Cheryl Cincino build earlier on when Battle Styles initially released. So it's not too much different from that, I feel like. So let's go ahead and let's get into some games. All right, here we go. Getting to our first game, we are going second. We opened the Jirachi, which is super clean. And then we got a decent amount of other stuff to work with as well. So yeah, I'm kind of liking the hand overall. I'm not going to put anything else down just to play around Escape Rope. I don't want to get Escape Rope into the active. I don't want to burn a Scoop Up Net if I put the Mincino down and they, bring it up and so on. So with the Escape Rope, that's what I would have to send up in that situation. Jinx, Tower of Darkness. So we're up against Primeape here. I've never played against Primeape. I've only ever played Primeape. Yeah, I've never actually played against Primeape. Only ever played the deck myself. So it's going to be interesting finally going on the other side of it. And we'll see how scary it can be on this side. It can do a lot of damage. I don't think Primeape can get to the point where it one-hit KOs an Urshifu VMAX, and they better have Mew, otherwise we're going to be using that G-Max Rapid Flow pretty consistently, pretty aggressively. So they better have that with them as well. Zigzagoon is okay. I think we're just going to start with the Stellar Wish here, see what we can grab. Level Ball, Double Boss. So not great options, I'm not going to lie. Go with the Level Ball, and I think we're just going to hold it to get a Cincino next turn. So I'm going to go bench. I'm going to go Zigzagoon and ping the Houndour because they have 130 HP. And give me 1 second to think. We just have to pass this because it's Cincino next turn. Probably give up the Giratina, but we could use the Giratina. Maybe give the Mewtwo. We'll see. Just go ahead and pass to my opponent. Yeah, so we want to ping the Houndours because, excuse me, ping the Houndours because they have 130 HP. So that means our G-Max Rapid Flow only does 120. But if we get that ping on there, G-Max Rapid Flow later, we can get those KOs on the Houndooms. And KO on the Houndooms is kind of probably what we want to go with. I guess they do have the Jinx in play, so where I put this damage actually, to be honest, doesn't matter. I just realized they have the Jinx, so I shouldn't have Zigzagooned. Although I did want to put the Zigzagoon down, because that is what I wanted to send up when my opponent theoretically knocks out my Jirachi here. But yeah, I kind of forgot that they have Jinx, so they can just move the damage wherever they want. And I kind of put an extra damage in play for them. Not that that would matter too much, I don't think, overall, but I definitely did put an extra damage in play for them to work with, so oops. Didn't fully think through the action. I think I still would have done this though, because I do want to go Level Ball, get Cincino, evolve it, make do, and I want to send up Zigzagoon to be able to go evolve and then net into my Urshifu VMAX, and then hopefully get off a Gale Thrust on the next turn. So it's still going to work out pretty much how I want it to. I could have benched it and not put damage in play as well, I guess. I could have done that, I guess. That would have been a thing. There's a Mew. So we're definitely going to have to look for the Gale Thrust KO here. Not going to be able to go after the G-Max Rapid Flow this turn. We could have done it with Karate Belt. It would have been unlikely to pull off, to be honest, overall. But hopefully we can build up into a later play later on where we KO the Mew and then can get off some G-Max Rapid Flows. Now, they do play Ordinary Rod, so they can recover the Mew, but you have to find those. So that is a possibility for us to still pull off. And yeah, here comes that Ominous Posture. I assume it's going to move off the Primeape because they don't really need to protect the Houndoom right now when they have the Mew in play. They move it to the Mew, which is fine, but I'm going to want to focus the Mew. So I think they probably should have moved it to the Jinx, to be honest. It's not a huge deal either way. Okay, let's see what our top pick is. Reset Stamp. So we're probably going to get rid of that because I like the Giratina. I don't like the Giratina that much, to be honest. And Reset Stamp is such a powerful card. I'll probably get rid of the Giratina here. Changed my mind. The Mewtwo is too important, I think, to get rid of. Bird Keeper. Okay, so we can go evolve, and we don't have to burn the net now. We can Bird Keeper into the Urshifu. Draw some cards. Hopefully get an energy. No energy. Okay. Now what? We got another level ball for another Cincino next turn. I could just retreat this to the Mew because I don't think I need Mew in this matchup. Could do that. The Zigzagoon seems important later on to maybe KO a bunch of Houndooms. So I think just retreat to Mew. It's going to be the way to go. For now, we'll have to see what we draw into later. Oof. Doesn't feel good. All right, let's do it. Yeah, and we can like do a Bird Keeper play next turn. We can like retreat the Urshifu Bird Keeper. I mean, if I get a boss, I'd rather do some kind of boss play maybe. So we'll just like send up the Urshifu. Do a make do, see what those 3 cards are, our top deck plus a make do, see what those 3 cards give us. We might get rid of the reset stamp. If we really like our top deck, we want to keep the level ball around to get a second Cincino, so we'll probably make do the reset stamp, but we'll wait and see what that actual top deck is. They could have a boss here, which would be pretty annoying as well, to be honest. So we want them to KO the Mew, but they could have other stuff to work with to make it a little bit more difficult for us to do what we want to do. So we'll see, wait and see what they have, and then that'll tell us what we can do on our turn as well. But definitely have to wait and see what they got. Another Mankey coming down, so they're almost hitting for maximum damage. They will probably be hitting for maximum damage on their following turn. Unfortunately for us, I mean, I could have gone with the whole Giratina play, but I don't think I'm ever running them out of energy as well. Like, I could have kept Giratina and gone like Giratina, net Giratina, because if I do whiff the attack like I did, then this thing would be a little bit harder for them to attack with, but they're most likely still going to be able to pretty easily attack with it. Them running out of energy is not something that usually happens, so there's another damage move off, and here comes another, what is it called again? Steamin' Mad Strike. So we're down 2 prize cards to our opponent, but we're still setting up pretty nicely, so I'm not too worried about it yet. Definitely want to try and hold on to these reset stamps for the late game. But I mean, I'm not too worried about it yet. We're setting up pretty cleanly overall. And they can't one-hit KO my Urshifu VMAX. If they were building up this nicely and then being able to one-hit KO our Urshifu VMAX, then I'd be really scared. But I mean, they're capping at basically, I mean, I guess with all 4 single strike energy they could, but that's a lot. They're gonna get that. Sounds like it's an air balloon. Definitely make do that. See what we get. And so we got our energy for the turn. Maybe I should have Mewtwo'd and made do into the Bird Keeper, to be honest. Maybe that is a mistake here from me. I think it is. I think it is. So I can go level ball. We can go ahead and grab there's Cincino. And I'll go ahead and throw that down. I'll Mewtwo a Bird Keeper on top. I probably should have just done this off the rip, to be honest, and I guaranteed to have the Bird Keeper draw that many more cards. So I'm definitely content with just KOing their active here. Make do one of these nets. Let's see what we get. Or I guess we know what we're getting here. Retreat. Attach. And then Bird Keeper back into it. And we got a clean attack with that Gale Thrust. And KO this Primeape. Alright, looking pretty good. I would love another Urshifu on my bench. We got the double Cincino set up, which is great. Down only once. Yeah, they basically burned no resources here as well. We're set up pretty cleanly here. The Zigzagoon on the bench. Hopefully we'll be able to utilize that later. But yeah, we want to like chase the Mew or find Cheryl. That's basically our goal at this point. Find Cheryl or chase Mew as soon as we possibly can. Because if we just find Cheryl, we basically negate all the damage that they just did on their previous turn. And then if we can do the do the boss play, we can get access to the VMAX Rapid Flow to take like additional prize cards in our turn. So that's like another goal here. And there comes down an Ordinary Rod for my opponents. That's one less Ordinary Rod. They probably played 2. Actually, that might have been their second. Hang on. It was their second. That's their second Ordinary Rod. So if we KO the Mew, that's it. They can't get Mew back unless they play a third Ordinary Rod, which I highly doubt. They could also play a second Mew, which actually seems a little bit more likely, to be honest, but I doubt that as well. You have the 2 Ordinary Rod. That's usually your safety net for the Mew going down. So if we can get this KO on this Mew, that's kind of it for them on that. So that's what we're going to try and do here. Get the KO on the Mew. Got to set up another Urshifu. Definitely can't let them KO this Urshifu. Them KOing this Urshifu would be terrible. It would be awful. So we can't let them get the KO on this Urshifu. We got to find that Cheryl. That's going to be what we're looking for here. And our Jirachi going down does kind of hurt a little bit because that is one of the tools we can use to like dig deeper for like those specific cards that we really want to find. If we do kind of give them this to knock out, we do have the reset stamp to 1, and then we need to just find another Urshifu, and we could be fine from there. So we'll see what we draw and what we want to do, but I guess that wouldn't be terrible if it did go that way. Setting up the third Cincino would be nice as well. We did get the third Mincino out of the prize cards now, so getting the third Cincino set up would be nice. Here comes that Bruno. But yeah, I did kind of mess up my sequencing a bit on the last turn. I definitely should have gone Mewtwo, put the Bird Keeper on top, and then make do away the air balloon. Guarantee draw into the Bird Keeper. Then I could have gone retreat, Bird Keeper. Would have been a little bit cleaner. I did lose a scoop up net for basically no reason kind of there. So that could hurt us later on. We'll see if that hurts us later on, but definitely could. And here we go. They're hitting us. Like I said, I don't think they're knocking us out. No, they're doing like 290. If they get all 4 single strike energy on one Primeape, they can one hit KO our Urshifu, but with one Houndoom in play, that seems like it's probably going to be impossible, so I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. Human Mad. There we go. 90, no problem. On to football. That's going to be good to find us our other Urshifu V. We do need to find ourselves not capture energy. That's not going to be very useful. If we can make do those away, I think. I could have actually quick balled here right now, increase my chance of finding the Cheryl, so I probably should have done that, to be honest. And yeah, no boss. All right, go. Gonna have to go with the Urshifu. Treats the Mewtwo. I'll net the Mewtwo now. Get the reset. We're attacking again. Go down the basic fighting here. We can put down this Mincino so we can attack, or we can set up that third Mincino to get that many more make do's going and knock out this Primeape. We'll see once again how our opponent's turn goes. I could have stamped here, but I think I'd rather save the stamps for a little bit later. Getting that reset stamp down to 1 should put them in a spot where like they're only out to do stuff on their turn as a draw supporter, then they'll play the draw supporter, and then we can have another follow-up reset stamp as well. So that's like kind of the optimal situation for us. Yeah, we'll see what they attack with there. Air Balloon to the Houndoom. We might just be able to kind of run them out of Primates at this point, to be honest. They're down both Ordinary Rods. They're down double earn. They could just kind of start to run out of resources, I guess, at this point. Because they would need a little bit. Here comes another earn. So it's their third earn. One earn left. No ordinary rods left. So I think we're in an okay spot here then. Energy goes down. Here comes another single strike roar. Have another Primeape ready to go. Like I said, they're gonna get the KO on this one. There's nothing we can do about that. That's fine though. They could even knock us out with the oh, I guess it is a flip a coin. They probably won't use that. All right, here comes a Marnie. That's unfortunate, but we did get the third Mincino set up, so that gives us like a little bit more wiggle room to try and get everything going. Hopefully get the other Cincino out. Okay, our draw is okay. We found the boss, but I don't think we want a boss here. I think we're gonna go with just knock out the active and try and find one of those reset stamps, but it is on the bottom of our deck. We might want to go with Dead A Change here, to be honest. Yeah, we might want to go with a Dead A Change here. If the Dead A is in the deck, I'm actually not sure if it is, but if it is, we're trying to reset the deck because our stuff's on the bottom because of the Marnie. So we want to like shuffle the bottom of the deck because we need to find those reset stamps, and then kind of go from there. Here comes another Jinx maneuver. I don't know what they're moving around. Just more damage off the Mankey. Sure. Yeah, we need to find the reset stamp. We need to stamp to one to knock out this Primeape. And then knock out the next Mankey. And then from there, maybe we can start to make the comeback. Here we go. Steam and Mad Strike. All right, we're going to send up Cincino, I think, here. Send up Cincino. Draw for turn is a Scoop Up Net. So I could make do, and then Scoop Up Net Cincino, re-evolve it. Okay, that seems okay. What do we want to make do? I like the Quick Ball, I like the Calm. Energy. Make do the boss, maybe? Still have the Mewtwo back in the deck so we can recover that later. Okay, that got awkward because we drew another Rapid Strike energy. Play Level Ball. The Dene is in the deck. Grab this. Okay, so we can grab this. I can throw this here. My goodness. All right, what are we doing? I can go throw this here. I can calm this away. Okay, so we can calm this away. Okay, I got it now. I got it. Calm this away. Grab our evolution. Evolve. Attach. Scoop Up Net. This. Send up this. Bench this. Evolve this. And then we'll Dead A Change. Took me a little while, but I figured out what we're doing. Find a Dene. Dead A Change. Because having the two prizes in play at this point in the game doesn't matter. We need to find that reset stamp. No reset stamp yet. We can go Quick Ball away. Mimikyu, which shouldn't matter. We can grab this Urshifu. Quick Ball away this Urshifu. Grab ourselves the Mewtwo, because I don't think we'll need that Urshifu anymore. Hopefully I don't regret that. Make do the Calm. In case we need the capture potentially. Make do a capture. Reset stamp. Marnie. Please. Okay, we got the reset stamp. Play the reset stamp. And Gale Thrust for the knockout. We're still in a pretty tough spot, I think, overall. It's still pretty tough, I think. We can win. We can definitely win, but it's going to be tough. Got a Calm. Okay, sure. Triple Cincino setup. They don't have a whole lot of... Actually, that is their last Mankey. I didn't even realize that. I thought they were going even on... So they had one more Mankey left. That is actually their last Mankey. So once this Mankey goes down, they're out of attackers. So it all comes down to this turn. And they could have like a boss. They could have boss and then go for that flip with the Focus Fist on literally anything on my bench to try and win the game. Here comes a Level Ball. So boss for me this turn would be huge. I don't know if there's one left in the deck. I think there is. I have the Mewtwo in my hand as well. So if we get our last Scoop Up Net, we could also Scoop Up Net like the Zigzagoon. Put down the Mewtwo, make do into it. That would also work. So we'll have to wait and see you know, what we have left. I mean, if my opponent doesn't do anything, I'm just gonna start making do and see what happens, and thinking out my deck as I can. There's our Tower of Darkness. Also, there's no stadiums in this build, so we never really have an out for like a counter stadium ever. Like a one of Swell could be nice in here, I guess, specifically against like Hearth or Welder decks, to combo that with Stamp or Marnie. Swell, Hearth, Swell, Stamp is usually pretty good against Welder decks. All right, they get anything? And what did they get? I'm sure they don't ever want to attack this. Just hit it and not KO it. So that's never going to be part of their game plan, I don't think. But what do they have? They're taking their time. I mean, they could have boss and they might be thinking about it. They got Kricketune. Okay. They could retreat to Kricketune, draw the extra card. Okay, here comes the energy down onto the Houndoom. Do they have any single strike energy in the deck? They do not. They have 1 urn left, though, and I'm sure they play 4. Makes sense to play 4 on Primeape, to be honest. So I'm sure they play the 4. Retreat to the tune. Okay. And then, yeah, exciting stage for an extra card, but they can't move Kricketune. They can't switch again. I doubt they play switch. They probably only play the air balloons, which makes sense. I doubt they play switch. Probably just the air balloons. So they can't attack this turn, but they know I can't win on my turn, so it's kind of like fine for them to play it this way. But if I get the boss, if I can find boss, get boss, boss KO the Mankey, we should just win because that is their last Mankey. I guess they could still attack with Houndoom, though. That would still be annoying. So I guess they have more options than I thought. All right, make do. I don't know, the calm, I guess. I don't really need calm anymore, I don't think. Make do. Urshifu. Him anymore. We have the boss. Make do the calm again. We have the boss. We have Cheryl. What do we want to even KO here? Oh no. This is still so bad for us. Because this thing with another energy actually KOs anything on my bench. This thing also does that. But it has Focus Fist. I think I want to KO the Houndoom in this situation because of that. I think KOing Houndoom is the way to go here. We could KO Mew as well. That's another thing I see. Also, in this situation, we have to use the VMAX Rapid Flow to take the knockout. Oh my gosh. I guess I'm going to KO the Houndoom here. Let's go with it. VMAX Rapid Flow. Hit. I don't know how we can't win next turn, unfortunately, though, on this play. I mean, I guess I can KO the Mankey maybe, and then that's basically winning the game, to be honest. How would we even do that, though? We would need Scoop Up Net. I don't have an air balloon here. I would need our 3rd air balloon, Scoop Up Net, and then boss KO the Mankey. So it is possible if the cards are in the deck, but I actually just don't know if the cards are in the deck or not. So that's something we're going to have to figure out. But it is technically possible for us to get the KO on the Mankey on the next turn. It's also very possible my opponent has a boss and they just win this turn. There's the Primeape. They need a way to move this Kricketune. They need a boss. The reason I want to KO the Houndoom there, why did I want to KO the Houndoom there? Because it was like guaranteed. I guess they have an energy there. Maybe I should have gone after the Mankey though. There's boss on my Dedenne, and there's the retreat. Okay, so they had it on the Dedenne. They would have had it with the Houndoom. Either would have worked. They could have attached the Houndoom, KO'd my Zigzagoon. I didn't have the net to get out of play. Take the L here to the Primeape. The biggest card there that we whiffed, we couldn't find the Cheryl in time. I think that would have been a big game changer. Wasn't able to find it in time. Hopefully, we can find it in the next if we need it. All right, here we go again. Opened our one of Jirachi once again, which I'm not gonna lie is pretty sick. Doesn't happen all that much. We only play one, but we'll take it. A quick bomb. We're up against something Volcanion. Might want Mew if they play Cramorant. Might Stellar Wish first to try and find a card to discard. I do kind of want to go Quick Ball first though. Question is, what do we Quick Ball? The Mew and the Zigzagoon. I kind of want Mew to keep Mew. It is a fire deck. Probably like Victini or something, but I do want to protect myself against Cramorant potentially, so maybe I just give the Goon here and hope that I don't need it later on. Kind of leaning towards that, but I could Stellar Wish to find a target instead. Another level ball is just kind of good to set up Cinccino's on the following turn, so I kind of want to take that, but use it for that. So take the level ball. Man. All right, we're gonna give the Goon here. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me. 2 Cinccino's in the deck. Gonna grab the Urshifu, bench the Mew, bench the Fu, capture out a Minccino, get another Minccino, and then we have double Cinccino Marnie next turn, which is going to be sick. Our next turn, our follow-up on the next turn is actually crazy. This is like probably perfect turn 1 into turn 2. I actually didn't need to bench the Mew, and I shouldn't have benched the Mew. I just kind of was like, oh, I kept it. I should bench it, right? I probably shouldn't have benched the Mew. That kind of didn't make any sense, but it's on our bench now, so we're going to work with it. Especially because if I top deck Calm, I would rather Calm the Mew away to get an Urshifu VMAX. I was just kind of like, well, like I kept it around. I guess we're putting it on the bench. But yeah, don't bench your Mew just because that's not correct. Don't do that. So it is Victini. They do sometimes play the Cramorant, which is like, well, like I said, I'm kind of scared of Cram closing out the game, so I'm content with keeping the Mew. Yeah, because Cram is a potential threat, and also that might be what they go for early. Just them Cram sniping our Cinccino's would be pretty bad instead of them hitting our Urshifu VMAX, to be honest. That would be like a pretty good line for them to take. So to play around that, Yeah, this works out. This works out to play around that a little bit. So yeah, I don't want them going like turn one, just cram sniping us, getting rid of our draw support. Because like I said, we don't play, like I said in the intro, we don't play that much draw supporters in this deck, or heavy draw supporters. There's no research. Like, research is the heaviest draw supporter, and the most effective draw supporter is just see cards. We don't play those, so us seeing cards is a little bit harder sometimes. So them focusing down our Cincenos would be pretty tough for us, pretty annoying. Just going with the high heat blast, that's fine with me. And we definitely want to use the rapid flow this turn. Could whiff. Man, do we ever whiff? Could whiff. Pretty unlikely to whiff. I'm just gonna go ahead and say we're not whiffing. And I could always just get an air balloon and retreat. There's the air balloon. It does take away the karate belt option, but we could check if it might be prized. You never know. So we could check, see if karate belt is prized. It is. So now we don't even have to worry about that. So that's great. And we'll see 9 more cards this turn with the Marnie plus the double make do. We'll see if it's enough to get us the plays we want. There's the rapid strike. All right, we got the rapid strike energy. Can we find a VMAX? Let's find out. Yes, but I don't want to get rid of this Urshifu. I want to bench this. So let's make do. I guess the air balloon has to go, which kind of stinks to be honest, but it worked out. Definitely stinks. Definitely stinks. Throw this down, and here we go. G-Max, Rapid Flow, KO the Volk, and hit up that Victini. The Victini is actually super annoying for us to deal with. Does 200 damage, and we kind of 3-hit KO the Victini, which is like not good. You don't want to 3-hit KO things. That's never like favorable for you in any way, shape, or form. But one thing a play we can make this turn is the Cheryl play, which will put us in a really good spot. An escape rope. Well, I guess Mew is the way to go here. Yeah, if I'm going to lose something this turn, I don't want them to take out a Cincino or hit and KO my Urshifu V either. So I guess they can have my Mew here. I guess if they get another escape rope, I'll probably send this back to the active, but we'll see if they can get that or what they even get here, to be honest, because they don't have Ulton going on yet at all. So they might not get anything really going. We'll see. Here comes a quick ball. Got rid of their goon. And what are they going to grab? Crobat. Okay, so they're still looking for stuff. Yeah, we had a pretty good turn too. There's a Reshizard. Of course, that guy's going to be annoying to deal with. Not too annoying, though, to be honest. Actually, we're stepping in a pretty good spot to be able to, like, win almost in 2 turns here. Shouldn't need this guy anymore. But, yeah, we're almost set up to, like, win in, like, 2 turns here. We can go a hit for 150. And then just, like, boss, KO to den, and KO the Reshizard. I assume they want to attack with Reshizard here. That's why they put it in play. Or maybe they're just trying to draw the extra card of the Crobat, I guess, as well. That could be what's going on. Yeah, that could definitely be what's going on. If they get the Victini VMAX, even with the Victini V, they could KO my Mew, but that seems like pretty low value to KO my Mew and then give me 2 prize cards and get me that much closer to winning this game. So that seems like incorrect for my opponent. I doubt they will go with that, but they could. You never know. Looks like it's just going to be an attach to Reshizard and maybe pass for them, though, which is kind of worst case scenario for my opponent here. But best case scenario for us is just them not doing anything on this turn. Although I wouldn't have minded too much if they had KO'd my Mew, to be honest. So we'll see if that's all they got. They do have the Hearth, but no, that is just the pass. All right, let's see if we can knock out this Jirachi, or even better, maybe hit something off of their bench. Go ahead and make do away the Snorlax. I don't think I'm going to be needing that anymore this game. We're pretty set up at this point. There's the Cheryl for the future. There's not right now, though. Make do a calm. See what we get. Well, I could have put the Marnie on top. I didn't feel like giving them new cards. I didn't really want to do that. Birdkeeper would have been ideal, but it looks like we might have to settle with kind of nothing this turn, which isn't terrible, to be honest. We're still very set up in a very good spot. Got the other Urshifu VMAX. I'll attach to this one, and I guess we're just gonna pass from there. Let our opponent have at it. Yeah, that was just kind of not great, to be honest. We didn't really draw anything, but our opponent didn't do anything on the last turn, and we set up a little bit further. We dug through our deck a little bit deeper with the make do, so we didn't do nothing on our turn. Whereas our opponent playing the Welder deck, they didn't really advance their board state at all, besides like an energy attachment. So definitely a lot worse for them to have done basically nothing than for us. Like, we got a lot more value out of us not attacking for our turn than our opponent did. So still in a pretty solid spot in that way. Like, we're in a better spot than our opponent was, even though we both didn't attack this turn. There's the Welder. All right, what are they going to attack with, though? I assume Flare Strike is going to be their the move here for them, but we'll wait and see for sure. And it looks like, yes, Flare Strike is the move from my opponent. And I wonder what they're going to be able to do here. If they get another escape rope, I'm sure they would love an escape rope here so they don't have to knock out my Mew, because that does not sound like very good value for my opponent. So I'm sure they would love to get an escape rope here to combo with the welders. They can't boss, of course, because they did welder for the turn. I guess they could also attack with the Victini VMAX instead, but I wouldn't mind hitting the Victini VMAX personally, so that would work out fine for me personally. Or to be honest, that would work out fine, I think. So I don't really care if that's the route they go with. But we'll see. We'll see what they end up going with here. There's the Victini VMAX. Because then we can just look to like punch Victini VMAX. And then, once again, Gmax, Rapid Flow, KO Dene, KO VMAX. Of course, they could play a Mew of their own to stop the Gmax Rapid Flow. But in that case, we can just kind of like 2-hit KO it and then like knock out a Dene or Crobat. That would also just kind of be fine. So that would also work. It really just depends on what my opponent goes for here. And it looks like they're setting up. It looks like they're setting up the Dede change here. And they might not VMAX, so they don't have to VMAX yet. They haven't attached for turn yet. Okay, there's a fresh Victini going down. Do they have a switch card? That's my question now. They do. Okay. Victini V into the active. But what is the... Are they going to spreading flames? They haven't attached, so they could energy burst. I guess you'd probably better to... Okay, they haven't used Hearth either. I thought they'd already used Hearth. Probably better to energy burst than VMAX and hit me, to be honest. Although, I don't know, to be honest. I actually don't know. They both seem kind of bad. Or it seems like it puts them in a bad spot no matter what. Okay, so now we can go with the Gmax Rapid Flow. We can take out the Victini, take out the Jirachi, and then we're just a boss away from winning the game. And I think that's what I'm going to go for. See what we draw, decide our make dues, and then go from there. Love a capture energy, actually. This would be a really good spot for a capture. Just gonna give this other Cincino, probably not gonna be able to utilize it this game at all. No capture. Go with the fighting though. Yeah, we just Rapid Flow, knock out Jirachi, knock out Victini. Can also hit Victini, hit the Reshizard. But taking away their Stellar Wish seems like the better option overall, so I think we're gonna go with that. And then, yeah, we're a boss away from the dub. I don't have one in the discard pile, so we can't Mewtwo for it. So we do have to draw into it. I don't know if we had any prize or not, but we'll draw a couple prize cards here. 3 prize cards here. Oh, now I got the Cincino. So now I'm regretting getting rid of that Cincino a little bit. Maybe I could have got rid of something else, to be honest. Because I knew it was prize, and I guess I don't know for sure that I'm winning this turn. We could definitely not win this turn. I think we're in a pretty good spot, too. The both boss hopefully are in the deck, and then we have, you know, we'll see 5 cards. Here's a reset stamp from my opponent. That might actually help me overall, to be honest. Got the energy, got a quick ball. We could go for Dedenne here, especially because our opponent won't win if we just put Dedenne in play. Like, they'll probably go with a Flare Strike here, and then we can go like attach to the benched, quick ball or top deck, Dede change, draw 10 cards between the Dede change plus the make dues. Of course, we could also top deck boss, so that's like another card we see. Unlikely to happen, but you never really know. And then we just have to chase this Crobat or this Dedenne, and even just hitting on my opponent's active here, comboed with like a Cheryl, would still be pretty good as well. So, and yeah, there's the boss. Yeah, I guess we also see a top deck, which could also be the boss. And hey, it's the boss. And that's going to do it for these games with the Urshifu, Cincino, Scoop Up Net package builds. Once again, big shout out to the European players, top European players, Nico, Pedro, for showing it off this week, letting us take a look at it, and showing off the build they've been working on. It's pretty cool. It's pretty sick. I don't know if it's the best. I think there's still so much you could do with Rapid Strike that who knows what the best build is yet. But this one's definitely good. Definitely good. Definitely recommend it, checking it out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.